Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brian Chesky.
All right. Hey, everybody. Hey, how you doing today? Thank you. Thank you. This is an exciting day. This is a special day. You know, 10 years ago, we started Airbnb in San Francisco. Joe and I, my Reuben and I, couldn't afford to pay rent. A design conference was coming to San Francisco, and the hotels were sold out. Now, we told this story a bunch of times before, but what we haven't told you is that the design conference was actually here in this theater, right here at the Masonic. And I remember when we came up with the concept, we told people about it, and they said, "You're crazy. People will never stay with other strangers." And then something started happening. A few guests started using it. And so then people said, Airbnb, it's not for me. And so Airbnb became this alternative that wasn't for them. But something happened 10 years later. And that something is that 300 million people have actually used Airbnb now. But 10 years later, Airbnb is still an alternative. It's still not for everyone. You see, our mission is that everyone can belong anywhere, and I think we've done the anywhere part. We're in 81,000 cities. We're in nearly every country in the world. But we still haven't done the everyone part. Airbnb is still not for everyone until today. Today, we will show you our roadmap so that Airbnb is for everyone. And it starts with investing in our host. You see, we have a partnership with our host, and it's really about building a strong community and recognizing our best members. And so the first thing that I want to share with you today is an update to superhosts. Now, superhosts recognize our best host. These are hosts that are highly rated, but more importantly, they're our most iconic host. And we have 400,000 superhosts globally. That's right. Including a number of them here. Superhosts like Pamela in Nairobi, Kenya. Now, Pamela has a wedding business. She had a wedding business for 10 years. And she noticed a problem because her brides would come to her and they said they were really frustrated. And so Pamela said, "Why are you so frustrated?" And they said, "Because their families can't find a place to stay." And that's when Pamela had an idea. She said, "What if I save my money, buy a house, and put it on Airbnb?" This is just a few years ago. And just a few years later, 1,000 guests have stayed with Pamela. That's pretty cool. You can imagine all the countless friendships. This is Mackenzie. Mackenzie's a superhost in Burlingame, California. And when Mackenzie was a kid, her parents, Doug and Linda, built her a treehouse. She plays in the treehouse, but then, like all kids, Mackenzie grows up. And she moves out of the house. And the parents are left with an empty treehouse in their backyard. Now, what do you do when you have an empty treehouse in your backyard? You put it on Airbnb, of course. And in 2011, Mackenzie did that. And just 7 years later, 3,500 guests have stayed in this treehouse from 34 countries. That's crazy. And I and my girlfriend were two of those guests. That's me in those awesome pajamas. I almost wore them today, and the team talked me off it. But it's super important that our superhosts, we invest in them. And so we give them a few benefits. These are the benefits we give them today. We give them a badge. We give them $100 travel credit. But we want to invest so much more into our very best hosts. And so today, we're offering 14 more benefits that we're going to be rolling out over the course of 2018 to bring us to 19 total benefits. Now, we've talked to thousands of superhosts, and these are many of the things that they've asked for. Now, I'm not going to go through all 19 of these right now, but I'm going to go through 3. And I want to start with one of the most popular requests a superhost has asked for: custom URLs for your listing. Now, let's say you're at a dinner party, and you say, I'm an Airbnb host, and they say, well, how do I find your listing? Well, today, you'd say very simply, just go to airbnb.com/room/2093755. It just sings. And so we want to make this a little easier with custom URLs that you can put, really anywhere on social media. Very simple. Now, this is really part of a bigger idea, which is this: more visibility and exposure. This is the number one thing our superhosts have asked for. Just last year, 330 million people came to Airbnb and they searched with dates. So if we highlight superhosts, that's a really big deal. And so what we want to do is this. The first thing is we want to make sure that our hundreds of millions of guests know what the Superhost program is. So we're going to be doing more promotion. And if you're a Superhost, we're going to make sure that every guest knows that you are a Superhost. Now, the final thing I want to talk about are exclusive pricing on smart home devices. Now, this is actually part of a bigger idea. And here's the idea. Basically, over the last few years, some of the biggest companies and biggest brands have come to us, and they said, we want to offer discounts to your best hosts. We want to offer discounts to our products. We want to offer unique services. And we thought, well, we already have a group of our best hosts. They're called Superhosts. So what if we create a host store with our very best products and discounts from companies that want to offer them? And we are starting today with our first partnership with Nest. And Nest has generously offered 30% off Nest Detect and Nest thermostats to all Superhosts globally. So that's all I'm going to say about Superhost. This is stuff rolling out over the course of 2018, and there's so much more to come. If you want to learn more about it, go to airbnb.com/superhosts. This is just the beginning. This is a world of benefits for our most iconic host. Now, before I move on, are there any Superhosts in the audience? I want to take a moment. Let's hear a round of applause for all the Superhosts here and around the world. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, I get asked this question all the time. You always talk about your best host. But what about our best guest? What are we going to do for them? Well, I want to tell you a quick story about 2 of our best guests. And they're these 2, Debbie and Michael. Now, 4.5 years ago, Debbie and Michael quit their job. Actually, they retired, so I guess you could say there was a permanent quitting. And they had an idea. They said, we're going to quit our jobs, we're going to sell our house, and we're going to use the money, and we're just going to live on Airbnb. For 4.5 years, they've been living on Airbnbs every single week. 160 Airbnbs later, 68 countries, they're still living on Airbnb. They are so passionate that last summer they actually reached out to us and said they wanted to intern. And I said, you're retired. And they said, well, it will be a post-retirement internship. And so they called it the senior internship. And so this is them in our office. They had so many ideas, but the most important idea that they left with us was this idea. Airbnb should get better the more you use it. And I was thinking deeply about this idea. And I decided to go where we all go in the pursuit of infinite wisdom. I went to Twitter. And I asked, if Airbnb had a membership program, what benefits would you want? Now, I was expecting a lot of really obvious answers like hotel points programs. But what surprised me is that people wanted a lot of benefits. Things like fridge stocking, airport pickup, access to a fitness center, concierge service. And so that's when it became clear to us. If we're going to have a world of benefits for our best host, we should also have benefits for our guest. And so if we have a superhost program, we should have a super guest program. Super guest is your passport to a new travel lifestyle. And it's going to be benefits across the entire travel journey. Let me just give you a couple examples. Let's start with homes. We surveyed hosts, and one of the things hosts said is they care deeply about the quality of guests on Airbnb. And so we asked them, would you offer any benefits to somebody if they were a super guest? The majority of our hosts that we surveyed said they would offer discounts, exclusive inventory, and last-minute booking just for super guests. We've had numerous companies offer to provide airport pickup, flight upgrades, access to airport lounges to our best guests. We can offer free or exclusive experiences. And so coming later this summer will be super guest, your passport to new digital lifestyle, and we are going to start with 10,000 guests as a pilot this spring. So that is super guest. Now, superhost, super guest, these are two sides of our existing community. And it's really, really important that we take care of our existing community. But I want to get back to this idea, that Airbnb should be for everyone. And if people feel like it's not for them, well, this is something we've been thinking a lot about. And as we were thinking about it, we uncovered something. Something that wasn't obvious to us. You see, over the last 10 years, we noticed that Airbnb was designed for when we were much smaller. And we think this is a key problem. Now, let me give you an example. This is our website the day we launched, August 11th, 2008. And if you were to search San Francisco, this is what you would have seen. A grand total of 16 listings with such memorable classics as Tiki-tastic, Get Fit, and my favorite, Simple. I mean, who doesn't want to stay in Simple? You see, here's the thing. We designed Airbnb to have like 100 homes in a city. And so basically the idea was a list of listings. And 10 years later, Airbnb, our core design has not changed. It is still a list of listings. But 10 years later, some things have changed. You see, we went from hundreds of listings to thousands of listings, to tens of thousands of listings, to hundreds of thousands of listings, to 4.5 million places to stay on Airbnb. Well, that's cool, yeah. Now, we probably have just about as much choice as anyone. And I do believe the perfect place to stay is available for every guest. It's just really, really hard to find. Now, I want you to imagine for a second that you needed to buy a new shirt. So you go to a clothing store, and there's a clothing rack. And on that clothing rack are 4.5 million shirts. That is the problem we have. We probably do have something for everyone, but it's hard to find anything. And so we want to fix that. And so we are introducing Airbnb categories. Airbnb categories connect every guest to their perfect home. And let me set this up for you. Here is how we bucket our listings today into 3 categories: shared room, private room, an entire home. So we basically take 4.5 million listings, and we basically say you have to go in one of these three buckets. But the problem is that we have a lot more than just shared rooms, private rooms, and entire homes. So we're going to be adding 4 new category types, and these are just to recognize the wide variety of places that we already have on Airbnb: vacation homes, bed and breakfasts, boutiques, and unique. Now, what I'm going to do for you right now is I'm going to take you through an example for each of these listings. And starting with shared rooms. Shared rooms are typically couches or pull-out beds in living rooms. They're super affordable and a social way to travel. When Joe and I started Airbnb in our living room, that was a shared listing. The average price per night for a shared room, $38. This is a shared room hosted by Lily and her cat. It's in Shanghai, and 200 guests have stayed with Lily and her cat since she's hosted in 2015. And it's only $18 a night. That is cheaper than the Wi-Fi upgrade at many hotels. Private rooms are part of our heritage. They're some of the highest rated, best value, and they offer some of the most belonging. And we have nearly 1 million private rooms on Airbnb. This listing is hosted by Julia and Silvio in Havana, Cuba, and it's $60 a night. They serve breakfast by the pool. And fun fact about Cuba, we opened Airbnb Cuba in April of 2015. We now have 32,000 homes in Cuba, and 1 million guests have stayed in Cuba on Airbnb since we launched. Pretty cool. Entire homes are homes that people live in, but they rent them out when they're not there. Now, this is a majority of our business. Magdalena hosts this home in Madrid, Spain. It's $96 a night. She welcomes every guest with a welcome basket, coffee, bread, and a guidebook with the best tapas in Madrid. Now, we also have vacation homes. These are dedicated rentals that hosts do not live in most of the time. They're often located in ski or beach destinations. This is Remy's Chalet in Austria, $165 a night. We have 34,000 chalets on Airbnb. For hundreds of years, before Airbnb, there were bed and breakfasts, like this 16th century manor house offered by Francis and Rupert in Cambridge, England. It's $100 a night. It's pretty cool. That is a dog right there. I just had to point that out. Boutiques are professional hospitality businesses that usually have a unique style or theme. And there is a new generation of boutiques that have community built into them, like this, the Drift in San Cabo. Now, the last one I want to talk about are unique. Unique include tree houses, boats, domes, yurts, Airstreams, and we have 121,000 unique homes on Airbnb. This is Katie and Peter's treehouse just outside Atlanta. This is the most wish-listed home globally on Airbnb. And Peter, the host, built this with his bare hands. Now, if you want to go a little higher up, you can go to this 40-foot lookout tower. It's pretty cool. It's offered by Danny and Alan, and people love staying here. It's an amazing experience, except for at night when you have to go to the bathroom. We have domes igloos, and we even have dogs. This 30-foot beagle-shaped house is named Sweet Willie. When you get to Sweet Willie, you enter, well, I won't say where. You sleep in the head. Now, my favorite thing is I was reading the reviews for Sweet Willie, and one of the guests said, quote, "The dog is very comfortable. Amenities are great." I've never heard a dog described that way before. The other weird thing about Sweet Willie, it's actually dog friendly. So you can bring your dog to sleep in another dog. It's very meta. Now, whether or not you have a 30-foot beagle, a dome, a dedicated rental, hosts will now be able to categorize these homes starting today. And so if you're a host, you should go to the app, you tap on update your listing, and then you describe what kind of home you have. If I have a dome, I would tap unique space. And then you can see the options here. We have barns, boats, campers, and here's a dome. And so that's it. And if hosts do this, it means that this summer, guests will be able to search through 7 different categories. And I think this will make it a little bit easier to find a place to stay. But there's 4.5 million homes. So 7 categories. It's not very specific. What if we got even more specific? Now, you might be wondering, well, why would you want to get more specific? Well, I'd love to give you an example. Let's say you want to travel to Paris. So I go and I type in Paris. We have 65,000 homes in Paris. Okay, so you're not going to search through 65,000 homes. Okay, so let's add some categories. I'm going to stay in a private room in an apartment. Great. Now, you're down to 10,000 homes. So can we refine this more? Yes. So we're going to be adding more categories to help guests refine their home so they can find the perfect place to stay. One of the categories we're adding is architectural style. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I am a huge fan of rustic. So if you were to type in rustic, here is what you'd refine down. Now, if I get to my rustic home, I also want one with a balcony because I want to be able to open the windows of my Paris balcony and sing to the top of my lungs. And so I'm going to refine down the balcony, but I'm not a very good singer, so I want to stay with a musician. And so you can literally refine down to the perfect place to stay. If you're a family and you're traveling to Seattle, you can stay in a family-friendly home with a chef's kitchen, with a crib, near a zoo. You see, we're going to be adding thousands of new categories. And this will make it easier for guests to find the perfect place to stay. We are building one of the world's largest home databases. And in this homes database, we already have 170 million photos, 166 million reviews, and 10 million toilets. I know what you're thinking. What is the nicest toilet in the world? It's this one. So those are new categories connecting every guest to their perfect home. But how would you find not just the perfect home for you, but the right home for the right type of trip? Well, we're also adding Airbnb collections. And these are great homes for every kind of trip. Now, we did a survey, and we asked 10,000 guests, why are you traveling? I was pretty surprised by the answers. Not what the answers were, but how many there were. People are using Airbnb for all kinds of reasons. And we took many of the most popular reasons people are traveling, the most popular occasions, and we put them into 9 popular collections. Each one of these collections has a 4.8 rating or above, and they've got tailored amenities and special services. One of the most popular occasions to travel is with family. And in our family collection, every home has 5-star reviews specifically from families, entire homes with full kitchens, and Wi-Fi and TV. There are 145,000 homes in the family collection. Now that's a pretty cool stat, but I'm actually more excited about this next stat because there are in this collection 26,000 children's books, toys, and game consoles in these homes. I am personally very excited about that. And I don't even have a family. Now, one of the most common use cases is also traveling for work. And something I do a lot, I know many of us are doing it very frequently. And when you're traveling for work, like me, you want to be able to have a flexible cancellation policy, self-check-in. You want to be able to work. You want the Wi-Fi to work. And so we have 65,000 homes in the work collection. And the family collection and the work collection are available today. Pretty cool. We're adding 3 more collections this summer: honeymoon, group getaway, and social stays. I want to talk for one moment about social stays. Social stays are in our roots. They're perfect for when you're traveling far away from home or you're alone. Social stays are essentially when the host says they'll hang out with the guest. They'll have a meal, they'll show them around the city, and we're really, really excited about this collection. So these are 9 of our collections that are rolling out this year, and there are many, many more to come as part of Airbnb collections, which are great homes for every kind of trip. Now, if we were to take new categories and Airbnb collections, and we were to bring them together into a single app, what would the Airbnb app look like? What I'd love to do is give you a short little preview of what our app will look like when you're booking travel this summer.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities are Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be found off my big home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me, with just the bare necessities of life. Oh man, this is really living.
So we want to make sure that we take care of everyone in the Airbnb community, and part of that is acknowledging that over the last 10 years, a lot has changed. In our community, guest expectations have evolved, meaning their expectations are going up. They're seeking a higher level of comfort and quality. But something bigger is happening. Many of our hosts are going above and beyond even the superhost standard. There are hosts who are immaculately designing their homes. They make sure that when you get there, they have the perfect details in the kitchen, everything is stocked, they get the right coffee for you. But if you were to look and search on Airbnb, it would be difficult for them to stand out. And so what we want to do is recognize and reward their commitment to quality. So today, I'm excited to announce that we are introducing Airbnb Plus. Yes. Airbnb Plus are all the comforts of home plus more. These are beautiful homes from exceptional hosts, and every single one of them are verified for quality. Beautiful homes. Each of these homes feature the host's distinct personality with thoughtful design. These are the homes of Airbnb Plus. The average price per night is less than $250 a night, but they're insanely nice. I mean, look at these. Look at that flower pot. Nice guitar in front of the fireplace. Like this home in the center here. This is a private room in Toronto for $65 a night from host Rush. Now, Airbnb Plus homes are also very unique. Todd and Kimberly host this Airstream that is now part of Airbnb Plus. We have Eve's private bedroom in San Francisco for $189. A houseboat in London from Manuela. An entire home for you and your family in Los Angeles from Joanne. And Belinda's bedroom in Cape Town. These aren't just beautiful homes. These really are exceptional hosts. What makes a host exceptional? Well, every single one of them has a 4.8 rating. 75% of these Airbnb Plus hosts are superhosts, like Katrina. Now, Katrina has a bohemian townhouse in Austin. Katrina is an interior designer, and she started hosting on Airbnb to fund her interior design business. But then as she's starting to host, she said, I'm going to pour my interior design skills into my listing. And so every detail of this house is immaculately designed and curated. And she even specializes it for the guests. She literally even scents the home for each guest. Superhost Matt lives in Venice. He's a creative director for a surf culture brand. He specializes in design and illustration. Now, Matt has a house in Venice, and he rents out his guest house. This guest house is California modern and, my favorite, rustic. It's clean, it's minimal, with custom cedar work. And these homes are verified for quality because we send our team to do a 100-point in-person inspection. And when we show up, we are looking for three things: that the home is clean, that it's comfortable, and that it's thoughtfully designed. 100 points, and I will go through all of them right now. Just kidding, just three. Fully featured bathrooms. Make sure the bedding is clean and comfortable. And fully equipped kitchens. I love that tea kettle. I think the light is radiating from it. Beautiful homes, exceptional host, verified for quality, but we're adding one more thing for a guest. When you book an Airbnb Plus home, we are adding premium support. This is a dedicated team dedicated to fast resolutions. Now, if you're a host and you're thinking of being a Plus host, well, the first question you might have is, why should I become a Plus host? And I would say 3 reasons. The first, top placement. You'll have better search ranking, a custom badge, and editorial support. You see, 73% of our guests said they would pay more to stay in a home that was verified. In-home services, these include design consultations, personalized verification, and expert photography. And premium support as well for hosts from a highly trained team. Now, when is Plus available? It's available today. So, I will give you a quick demo right now. Let's take a look. So this is a live demo. So of course it will work. So here's a new app. Now I'm going to tap into homes. The first thing you're going to notice is that we feature the Airbnb Plus homes at the top. Now every one of these has a badge. It says Plus, and it actually says Plus Verified. Now I'm going to look at all the Airbnb Plus homes. And it's really nice merchandising. Now we show the cities that we're in. And I'm going to go down. Wow, look at this one. Forest in Heaven themed apartment. Now, one thing you're going to notice is every one of these homes is specially merchandised and designed to really make the home's features stand out. And this is all centered around great photography. Look at these photos. So we send a team of our best photographers to every one of these homes. It's really beautiful. You'll notice the details. And the other thing you're going to notice is this. We lay out the photos by floor plan so you can actually get a sense of your way around the house. And this is allowed because when we do the in-person inspection, we are getting tons of structured data. And that allows us to do other things like this. We have standardized amenities. So if I go to the home, I see these are the amenities, and these are special to the Airbnb home. So it's got a washer, a dishwasher, room darkening shades. We literally test the Wi-Fi in every single Airbnb Plus home. Make sure it's fast. They have bath essentials, bedroom comforts. So this is what a listing looks like on Airbnb Plus. Now, I'm going to keep going. You can get a sense of some of these homes. They're really, really nice. And again, this is only $87 a night. And I'm going to show you one last thing right here. We also have curated list, poolside homes, knockout kitchens, big backyards, peaceful patios. I'm going to go to kitchens, and then watch this. We curate, and the default photo is now of the kitchen. We can do this because we know which photo is which. We really organize our information. And so this is the new Airbnb Plus. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, right? All right. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. This is available in 13 cities, 2,000 homes today, and we will have 75,000 homes in 50 cities around the world before the end of the year. Now, if you're a host in one of our 13 launch cities, you'll be getting a dashboard alert to invite you to apply. And if you're interested, you can also, as a host, request an invite. When a host applies, there's just a $149 one-time application fee. This really covers our home walkthrough, our personalized report, our design and verification service, our premium support, and just a portion of the merchandising cost. And to bring Airbnb Plus to life, I'd love to show you a quick video.
There's a place in my mind where I like to go. Oh, oh. Feel the breeze on my face
So that is Airbnb Plus, all the comforts of home plus more. But before I go, I want to show you one more thing. And we asked ourselves a question. What if we even went beyond? 1 year ago, we acquired a company called Luxury Retreats. Luxury Retreats has 2 decades of history delivering incredible hospitality. And they have some of the world's nicest homes. And we asked, what if we brought together high-end hospitality with one of the largest travel communities in the world? How could we deliver the trip of a lifetime? If we are going to deliver the trip of a lifetime, it would start with some of the finest homes in the world. And we have thousands of these homes. Let's dive in. This is the Villa Saraswati in Bali. It's got a 65-foot pool, an entire children's playground, if you have that many children. Or the ski in, ski out Owl Creek in Aspen, or not far from here in LA, the Hancock Park Estates, or if you want to be more remote, in the remote part of Costa Rica, the Villa Avalon. Now, a place I love to visit is Tuscany. This is the incredible Villa San Luigi. This was commissioned by the Chigi family in the 16th century. It was recently restored. It's got an olive grove and a vegetable garden in it. But if we are going to go beyond, homes are just the beginning. Because to go beyond, we must have magical experiences, like truffle hunting, cooking lessons with local chefs, and so much more. So, world-class hospitality, extraordinary homes, unique experiences, all to create the trip of a lifetime, and it's custom designed. Beyond by Airbnb, the trip of a lifetime, custom design, coming this spring. So today, we showed you 5 things. Superhost, which is a world of benefits for our most iconic hosts. Superguest, your passport to a new travel lifestyle. New collections, so you can find the perfect home for you. Airbnb Plus, available today, and Beyond by Airbnb, coming this spring. And when you put these 5 things together, we think we finally do have a home for everyone. Now, when I say we, I don't mean we, Airbnb, the company, but in a larger sense, I mean we, Airbnb, the community. And our community is led by our host. And we imagine a world that is led by host. And what would this world look like? Well, I want you to imagine arriving to a city and someone says, "Welcome to my home." Where home isn't just a house, but anywhere you belong. A world where every door is unlocked and every host treats you like family. Where every city is a village, every block a community, and every kitchen table a conversation. Friendships are created and memories are imprinted. Worlds are discovered and cultures are exchanged. Hosts create this magical world. Our potential lies in them. Together, we aim to enable 1 billion guests to belong, and in the process, redefine what it means to be home. Welcome to a host-led world.
Yurts. You thought of that. Serving breakfast up here?
Good morning, guys. We've come to share in this commitment.
And hosting a Viking wedding. Taking people on a tour of wine country in your vintage van.
Right on.
That was you. Who made the first guidebooks? The first Wi-Fi instructions?
So the network is Sky-Fi, and the password is...
You made your home business ready. And family friendly. And whenever the world needed a place to stay, you opened your doors.
Thanks for letting us stay here.
Thank you so much.
And your hearts.
My pleasure. Great.
And about 1 million bottles of wine. Over a decade of hosting, you've created a new kind of community. You've inspired us. So thank you. Here's to the next 10 years.
When we say we're host-led, it means they've been leading the way, though they will continue to lead us down this path. And I'm really excited for what the next 10 years looks like. I want to thank everyone for joining us today and sharing in this special moment. Thank you.